Okay, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm quite sure this should be great. So let's head back to wherever we want to get our. Let's just head back to where we are going. So this shows that we are live. Let us see, because I have to monitor this. It has to be properly monitored. Okay, this is awesome. Hello, my name is Shiju Adeolusola from Academic Tutors. Just trying to fix this properly. So it does not matter where you are watching from. What matters most is the fact that after you've watched this video, you should be able to gain admission into any tertiary institution of your choice effortlessly. Most especially those of you that are looking at the possibility of gaining admission into the university. Yes, you know, there are so many tertiary institutions in Nigeria. You have the Polytechnic, you have the university, you have the College of Education, you have the School of Nursing, and you know, there are so many of them like that. But today, we are looking at how you can gain admission basically into the university. How you can gain admission into the university. So before I continue, I would like to share a story with you, but then I want to get a clear sound. I want to understand, I want to be sure that I'm projecting, like I'm audible enough. So you might hear one funny sound like that, a sound that might not be too okay with you, but just bear with me. I want to understand, I want to be sure that I'm projecting, like I'm audible enough. So you might hear one funny sound like that, a sound that might not be too okay with you, but just bear with me. I want to understand, I want to be sure that I'm projecting, like I'm audible enough. So you might hear one funny sound like that. Now it is obvious that what we have here is awesome. So in terms of sound and every other thing that is needed. So I said earlier that I'll be walking you through the process of gaining admission into a university of your choice. But we are going to start from the beginning. The reason for this is it does not matter when you're watching this video. Maybe you're watching it before you even have the thought of writing your UTME, or you're watching it after you've written your UTME. What matters most is the fact that whenever you see this video, you should be able to do well. You should be able to guide yourself, even without getting any assistance from anyone. You should, okay, this is it. This video should basically help you to, you know, do this admission of a thing by yourself without any assistance from anywhere. So there are certain things you need to understand before you can think of, you know, gaining admission into any university. The first thing is you have to understand the concept of JAMB, the concept of O-level. JAMB is the examination body that organizes UTME. Nobody writes JAMB. JAMB is just like, okay, we are writing this examination. That is JAMB. We are writing this examination, but these are the people that organized the examination for us. That is JAMB. But the examination that they organized is called UTME. So don't ever tell anyone that you are going to write JAMB. I can assure you that if you call, or let us say you just ask randomly from 100 UTME candidates, 100 candidates that are writing UTME, you discover that if you ask them, oh, which examination are you writing today? They will tell you they are writing JAMB. It is not as if they are not smart enough. I even know of, you know, one of my candidates who scored above 320 something, and the candidate still went up and down to tell people that he was writing JAMB, like he wrote JAMB. So it does not matter if you know that, okay, the examination is UTME or the examination is not UTME. But then, just for sanity purpose, you understand, just to increase your steez a bit, you have to tell people that, okay, you're writing UTME and not what? And not JAMB. So UTME is the examination that is written, and JAMB is the body that organizes the examination. Before you can think of writing JAMB, normally, under a normal circumstance, before you can write JAMB, you must have had your O-level with you. The O-level we are talking about is basically WAEC or NECO. But for some of you that attend technical, all these federal government technical college, those of you that attend technical colleges, some of you are subjected to examinations like NAPTEP, but have it at the back of your mind that NAPTEP can only be used in most cases to gain admission into polytechnics. NAPTEP can only be used to gain admission into polytechnic. But in Nigeria, all universities accept both WAEC results and NECO results. All universities, it does not matter, all tertiary institutions accept both WAEC and NECO results. So you must have had your O-level with you. You must have also had your what? Your UTME result with you. It does not matter what you score now, but then what matters most is, would you be considered for an admission? That is what we want to talk about. So your O-level, irrespective of the course you want to study, you must have minimum of 5 credits in relevant subjects, which include English and mathematics. I will explain that relevant subjects. When we talk about relevant subjects, these subjects are those subjects that are brought together. Those subjects that are brought together to make up whatsoever is the core basis of any course you want to study. For example, if you want to study medicine, it is the relevant subjects that we are talking about here will be physics, biology, and chemistry. Those are the 3 relevant subjects, including English and mathematics. If you want to study, let us say, theater art, some of you believe that, okay, because you want to study theater art, you do not need mathematics in your O-level. It is compulsory. That is why you normally see that they compel you guys to do mathematics and English in the secondary school. Now, your mathematics, if you add a D7 in it, you will not be considered for an admission in any tertiary institution. Your English is also the same. So you must have passed at least with a minimum of C6, with the minimum, the lowest credit ever. You must have had it in both mathematics and English before you can be considered for an admission. You should also understand that as you're having these 2 subjects, those other subjects like literature and English, for those in that literature and English, government CRS must also be prepared. You must also have those ones, minimum of C6 in those subjects. Anything that is devoid of this will be a complete shamble. You understand? So the meaning of that basically is that you will write the exam and nobody will stop you from writing UTME. But after writing this UTME, you just discover that you are expecting admission, but it is not forthcoming. And you do not want any situation like that. So you must have had, your relevant subjects in your O-level. You should also bear in mind that for some courses, you can substitute CRS for economics. For example, if you want to study mass communication, you can substitute CRS for it. If you want to study law, in fact, I believe it is more preferable to pick economics than CRS if you want to study law in some universities. However, I will implore you that you should check the university brochure before you think of applying to study any course. And to get the university brochure, after this live video, I will leave a link in the description so that you can have access to IBAS. IBAS is integrated brochure whatsoever that is officially that JAMB compiled. JAMB compiled all the list of all the subjects and every university in Nigeria. The subject requirement to gain admission into every university in Nigeria is compiled in this IBAS. So I will implore you to go through the description immediately we are done with this live. So if you are watching me live, just have it at the back of your mind that you are fortunate enough. Is that taking? So the second part of it is, after you have been able, are you with me? After you've been able to at least scale through the hurdle of O-level, you must also score well in your UTME. You must also do what? Score well in your UTME. We are still going to discuss that extensively because these are very important. Now, the other part of it is that some universities after you've written your UTME, you do not need to write any other examination that they call post-UTME. Generally, all schools do post-UTME. But then you should understand that there is difference between post-UTME examination, that is post-UTME itself is post-UTM examination. So some schools will subject you to an examination, while some will not even, you will not write any examination after your UTME. What they will just do is that they will just grade your O-level, grade whatsoever you have written in UTME. They add it together, get the aggregate, and use that aggregate to give you admission. It is as simple as that. But some institutions like Obafemi Awolowo University, University of Ibadan, University of Lagos, most federal universities in Nigeria, and some private universities and few other state universities, they will compel you to write their their examination. A very good example of state university that writes post-UTME examination is Olabisi Onabanjo University. You must write their post-UTME. So if you do not write it, you should not think of admission. Is that taking? So after saying that, after saying all this, you should understand that post-UTME by now you should understand that post-UTME is just an examination that you write the moment you are through with your UTME, the moment you have seen your JAMB results, the moment you are planning to apply into any university. And it is not all schools that write this post-UTME. Please understand that basic concept. So we then look at, I've told you that you have to register for JAMB. Okay, yes, you want to gain admission. The only examination body that gives admission to any candidate in the whole of Nigeria is JAMB. So you must have registered for JAMB. Are you with me? And you must know everything on the JAMB syllabus. JAMB syllabus is usually updated. I think that is after every four years or 5 years thereabout. JAMB syllabus is usually updated. So you must keep yourself abreast of every development in the JAMB syllabus. Keep yourself abreast of every development in the JAMB syllabus. The moment you have this information, the moment you understand that, okay, these are the new topics that I introduced, these are the things that I should understand about the examination I want to write, then success is knocking on the door. Is that taking? So after keeping yourself posted, keeping yourself updated about the syllabus, you should also understand the exam format. Generally, in UTME, you are compelled to write English. You must write English. And this English should be accompanied by the other 3 relevant subjects that I talked about. For example, if you are going into engineering, the 3 subjects will be physics, chemistry, and mathematics. If you are going into anything that is related to medicine, the 3 subjects will be physics, chemistry, and biology. Let us say you want to study accounting. The 3 other subjects will be economics. For some universities, principle of accounting, and either government or commerce. But some universities, like Unilag, will compel you to write economics, mathematics, principle of accounting. Yes, principle of accounting. Unilag will compel you to write economics, mathematics, principle of accounting. But other universities generally, I think I made a mistake earlier on. Other universities generally, if you want to study any business-related course, you will be compelled to write economics, mathematics, and either of principle of accounting, principle of accounting, government, or commerce. Any of these 3. Is that taking? Any of the 3, principle of accounting, government, or commerce. It then depends on the requirement according to the university. Is that taking? So let us say you are in arts and you want to study anything related to law. Don't forget, English is compulsory for everyone. English, literature in English, government, either CRS or economics are the subjects that are required to study anything in arts. So make sure you check the brochure of your university to understand what they require, because we understand that there is a lot of dynamics these days, or there are a lot of dynamics these days. Universities are beginning to come up with their own requirements. They just want you to understand that this is our requirement. Basically, Unilag does this a lot. For example, if you want to study anything related to engineering in Unilag, if you do not have further maths, if you do not have further maths in your O level, you will not be considered for an admission, irrespective of your score. It is in their brochure. So I want you to take your time to study this brochure properly to understand what they are talking about. So after registering for UTME, after understanding after keeping yourself updated of the syllabus, that is the JAMB syllabus itself, and understanding the examination format, it will then be easy for you in the first place. Don't forget, the examination format generally is that use of English in your UTME, your use of English has 60 questions, while every other 3 subjects have 40 questions each, which makes everything total of 60 plus 120, 180 questions. And the time allotted for 180 questions is just 2 hours. So understand that this that the examination format is English 60 seconds, other subjects 40. English 60 questions, other subjects 40 questions, and you will be given a total of what? A total of 2 hours. After understanding the examination format, I have explained the post-UTME essentials and what to expect and how to prepare. Different universities, like I told you earlier, they have their requirements. Different universities have their requirements. So all these universities, if some of them require that you write an examination after the UTME, you have to write it if that is your choice of institution. Is that taken? So we move to the next one, which is to choose the right university and course. If you want to gain admission, you have to choose the right university and course. And under this, we'll be looking at the factors to consider when selecting a university. Are you with me? The factors. What are the factors to consider when you are selecting your university? So let us start with this. Now, if you want to choose any university, it depends on whatsoever interest you have in that university. And there are also times that your interest, your passion, your love, your affinity for a university might not even correlate with your ability, and it might not even go pari passu with the admission that you are pursuing. For example, someone that has always had the passion or the dream of going to study at Obafemi Awolowo University, and your UTME score is not up to 200, that dream will not help you. You know, that dream is just, it will just die there. So your dream to study a course in a university must correlate with your score. Am I making any sense? It must correlate with your score. If you want to go to universities like OAU, like UI, UNILAG, you must have scored at least 200 in the UTME. Am I making any sense? So what I'm saying in essence is this: you must have properly prepared for the examination before you even think of applying to the university. So don't forget, some of the factors that you have to consider before applying into any university is that, do they have the course that you want to apply for? If a university does not have the course you want to apply for, what is the essence of going to that university? Do you just want to pick any course randomly? You should also understand that there are some courses in Nigeria that, they are great courses, but due to the nature of this country, those courses do not have any reasonable future prospects. I will not mention any course right now, but the courses do not have any reasonable future prospect. That is, the moment you are through with it, you'll be going up and down looking for one job. And in the long run, you might just end up not getting any reasonable job. But these courses, if after you've studied them, you have an opportunity to travel out of the country, the prospects are there. Like, they are hot, they are in demand. I do not want to mention any course so as not to let anyone feel bad about whatsoever he or she is studying in the university currently. So understanding the university you are applying to, understand if they have the course you want to apply to. And please don't just pick a course for the sake of picking it. Don't pick a course because you want to leave your mommy's house or you want to leave your parents' house. If you are picking a course and after you have picked the course, maybe after so many years, when you are through with the whole program, if that course cannot put a food on your table, there is no sense in it. So before you pick a course, consult people, meet with people that understand the in and out of every course in Nigeria and how this course can put food on your table. Don't just go to a university because people are going you want to leave home. It will be, it will not really make sense for you to waste maybe 4 or 5 years in the university, and after the whole thing, you are now going up and down looking for jobs. So understand that, just make sure that you are applying to a university that has the course that you want to study. That is the first thing. And the second part of it is that if a university is telling you that we have this course, are these courses accredited? How would you know if these courses are accredited? Please, just make sure you go through the I think it is Nigeria University Commission. Go through their website, go through their Twitter handle. They will announce on regular basis that, okay, we have accredited this course at so university. Or better still, go to JAMB CAPS. All those courses that you have in JAMB CAPS, they have accredited them before JAMB can even integrate them into their own system. So if a university is giving you a course that has not been accredited, if you graduate from that university with that unaccredited course, it is as good as you not going to a university at all. I will take that again. If a university gave you an admission for a course that has not been accredited by NUC, and you accepted that course, after the whole process, after the whole year, it is as good as you not even going to the university at all. So understand, if the course has been accredited by MUC before you apply, please understand that it is very good for your own future. So the next thing that we'll be looking at after accreditation, we are talking about the factors to consider before you apply into any university, right? So the next thing to consider will be which university is very good when it comes to a particular field of study. Which university is the best? Am I making any sense at all? So it is out there. Everyone understands that if you want to think of law, let's talk about law generally in Nigeria. There are certain universities that they do well. Like, these universities are ranked reasonably well, even in the global space. For example, Lagos State University is one of those universities that will prepare you for a wonderful career in law. You have University of Ibadan, you have Obafemi Awolowo University, and then you have Unilag in this order. So when you want to apply to a university, now look at how good they are in teaching those courses. The news is everywhere. You can always ask from anyone that understands this process. Please do that. So after all this, it is then important for you to understand that it is not just all about picking a university. It is also about picking a university that will meet your need at the end of the whole thing, and to also study a course that will put food on your table, that will be able to, you will be able to contribute to wherever you find yourself reasonably and positively. So after that, you have to consider cut-off marks. There are two types of cut-off marks. The first cut-off mark is the JAMB cut-off mark to gain admission into any university. Some people believe that whenever they talk about cut-off mark, they are talking about, oh, if you have scored this, you can study this course in this university. That is a very big mistake. For example, Lagos State University, I would like to always, I will always mention Lagos State University because that is my alma mater. Lagos State University would announce that, okay, if you had scored 195 in UTME, you can apply. That 195 is just a general entry requirement. Is that taken? It is just a general entry requirement. But the courses that you want to study, there are some courses that they are very, very competitive and they are hot when we talk about their demand. Those courses, their own cutoff mark is completely different from, the general cutoff mark. The same is applicable to OAU. OAU will tell you that, oh, before you can apply to our university, you must have scored nothing less than 200. Now, this 200 is just the minimum requirement. The implication of that is if you scored 199, don't even think of applying because you will not try the post-UTME for a university like OAU. You will not try the post-UTME for a university that, like Glasswood, that does not try post-UTME, your name will not even come out at all. You will not even be able to apply in the first place. Please understand this very well, that there is difference between the university cutoff mark and the course or departmental cutoff mark. The university cutoff mark can also be seen as JAMB cutoff mark, but the department, each department in the university have their own cutoff mark. So you must understand that, okay, let us say LASU is announcing 195. If you want to study something like medicine in LASU, the worst that you should go with should be a 290 and above. Am I making any sense at all? So forget about the fact that they've announced that if you scored 195, that you can gain admission. Yes, you can gain admission to study any other course in the university, not courses like medicine, not courses like law, not courses like medical laboratory science, not courses like nursing, not courses like economics or accounting. These courses, you know, they have weight. And even English education in Lagos State University is as competitive as English major itself. So you cannot score 190 something and you want to study those courses. Amaka, why? Am I making any sense at all? So great. Now, after considering that, you also have to understand that, okay, am I an indigene of a particular state? Because there is something called catchment area. The meaning of catchment area is according to the geopolitical zones that we have in Nigeria. If you belong to any state in any of those geopolitical zones, your opportunity or your tendency of gaining admission into a university that is in that geopolitical zone will be higher than someone that is not from that geopolitical zone. What do I mean? For example, in the Southwest, we have universities like University of Ibadan, Obafemi Awolowo University, Federal University or Ekiti. Now, if you are a Yoruba boy or you are from the Southwest, to gain admission into these universities that I've mentioned, most especially universities like Federal University or Ekiti, to gain admission will be easy because they will consider the fact that you are from that catchment area. Let us say you are from the Southeast. If you are applying to universities like University of Nigeria, Nsukka, or you are applying to Nnamdi Azikiwe University, all these federal universities that are there, it will be easier for you to gain admission compared to a Yoruba boy that also wants to attend that university. Am I making any sense? And the same also goes for state universities. Every state university is mandated to cater to the need of the citizens, or better said, to cater to the need of the indigenes. So if I am from Lagos State, let us say originally I am from Lagos State, and there is a university like Lagos State University in Lagos State, Lagos State should consider giving me admission before thinking of giving someone from Kano or someone from Enugu or someone from Imo. The reason is this. It is very simple. The university is positioned to provide or to cater to the academic needs of the state, of the indigenes of the state, rather. So please understand this. It is not as if there is any form of biasness. Whenever you apply to a state university, you should understand that when you apply to a state university, there are so many things that, there are so many politics that are being played. And these politics, they are constitutional. Please understand this. Another thing you should also understand is that if you are on JAMB merit list, all these things that I've mentioned, they will not be your own problem. The only challenge we have is your O level. If you are not strong enough, if your O level is not good enough, or better still, maybe you have one defect in any of those subjects that are required, in any of those subjects that is required to gain admission, if you have defects in any of them and you want to gain admission, Amaka, why? It is impossible. It will not be possible. Please understand that. And then you should also, okay, I'm still live. So you should also understand that there is something called educationally less developed states. You see, all these things that I'm mentioning to you, these are the things you should consider whenever you want to apply into any university. Educationally less developed states are ELDS. These are states that, they believe that these states do not have, proper access to good or quality education. So for that reason, any university that they apply to, that is, if you are an indigene of any of those educationally less developed states, it is always easier for you to gain admission into any university based on the fact that you have been considered to be among those that do not have proper access or that do not have access to proper education. Most states in the north are in the ELDS, and some states in the southeast or south-south are in the ELDS, not all states. Please look at the description below to see, the list of the states that belong to the ELDS. Please understand that. Let me also, maybe I should also explain this properly so that you'll not be lost completely. Whenever we talk about ELDS, the idea is this. Let us assume that University of Lagos, the cutoff mark for medicine in University of Lagos, or let us say the aggregate that you must have is, let us say, 81. Am I making any sense at all? So if to gain admission into University of Lagos to study medicine is 81, that is, the aggregate score is 81. Someone from ELDS that scored 60 might gain admission to study that medicine ahead or before someone that scored 79 or that even scored 81. Am I making any sense? Because they have been considered to be members of the ELDS. Please understand that. So we, after all this, if you have any question, remember to ask in the comment section. I'll do well to answer all the questions one after the other. It might not be during the video session. It might be after the video session. So we've discussed understanding JAMB and post-UTME. We've also discussed choosing the right university and course. We've also discussed cutoff mark. Now, another thing you need to understand is this. It is not through JAMB alone that you can gain admission into tertiary institution. But understand that what I mean is this. Okay, maybe that is a mistake. The only way to gain admission into any tertiary institution in Nigeria is through JAMB, but it is not compulsorily through UTME. UTME is the exam that everyone writes annually, but there are other options. Let us assume that you did not do well in your UTME, and you still, maybe you are looking at it that, oh, you do not have enough time. Am I making any sense? You do not have enough time, and you want to gain admission. You can explore every other routes, like some A-level. You can also explore, some A-level programs like JUPEB, IJMB, and even Cambridge. There are some universities in Nigeria that accept Cambridge IGCSE, that is the advanced level. The advanced level, they will give you admission. It is as simple as that. But then you must apply through direct entry, and it must be through JAMB as well. And these courses, these programs will give you admission directly into 200 level. If you want to know more about JUPEB or IJMB, you can always reach out to me through the through our website that you will see the link in the description. Is that taken? So basically, generally, without confusing you, these things that I've mentioned from the very beginning to these very moments are those things that you must consider before, or those things that you must have put in place before you can be considered for an admission into any university to study a course of your choice. But then it is normal that, we make mistakes. Some common mistakes that you can make that will deny you of admission into any university. Some of those mistakes are errors in JAMB registration. Some of you, the name, let us say your name is Khalid. Your name is spelled K-A-L-I-D in your NIN. And when you are registering for maybe JAMB or any other thing like that, the name is now mistakenly spelled, or maybe in just one way or the other, there is now H in your Khalid. Maybe it is now spelled K-H-A-L-I-D. If you are applying to any university, they would not consider the Khalid with K-A-L-I-D. They will not consider that same Khalid to be the same Khalid as the one with KH. Am I making any sense? So this little mistake can actually lead to you forfeiting an admission, even if you have done well. Another thing is, if you are trying to use combined results, let us say you failed physics in one subject sorry, you failed physics in a particular examination and you passed it in another examination. Let's now say that you now failed chemistry in the other examination. You now want to combine it. Some universities, in fact, they will always advertise it everywhere, that if you have that your the O level you are using should not be more than 2 sittings. These things that I've mentioned earlier, that is the catchment area, there will also be some of those factors that we play out in either admitting you or not. I have an experience of this. You know, one of my students had an experience of this. He did well in his UTME, he scored above 300. He went to the university to write their post-UTME and he did very well. But then I advised him earlier that please do not apply with these combined results. You can write another O level, but he was adamant. He said no, he had written enough that he does not want to write it, that since he had made those subjects in these results that he had with him, that he would gain admission into any university in as much as he had scored above 300. In fact, it was during the time that 300 was a scarce score. He went to the university, he applied, he did everything, he awaited admission. Students or candidates that scored below 240, they've already been given admission, weeks, months before. He was still waiting, expecting admission. And then he also had a friend that was also combining results, but the guy was from that area. I'm talking about a federal university. The boy went to the university, he tendered his result, and guess what? The university gave him admission. But my own student that I advised, that was Eddie, that was Adam, and that said no, he had scored above 300, that he does not need to apply, was not given admission because he was from another geopolitical zone. See, these things are considered. These things are considered. It is just a way to, to make sure that every geopolitical zone in Nigeria has a reasonable number of people from that area in the university. It is as simple as that. So please make sure that you have your complete O level. It is advisable that you have your O level in one sitting. Is that taken so that you will not have any problem in the long run? I've discussed, the one that I discussed with you earlier is maybe any alteration in your name or any other thing like that. The next one is your O level. Please, in the process of registering for anything, don't make any mistake. Make sure that everything you are putting in is verified. It is the same thing, so that whenever you are considered for an admission, none of these simple mistakes will deny you of the admission that you should gain on a platter of gold. Did I say platter of gold? No, it is not platter of gold. You've actually worked for it. You deserve it. So nothing should deny you of that admission. That is that. And another thing is that you should not have a wrong O-level combination. I discussed it earlier. If you want to study engineering in Unilag, University of Lagos, you must have further maths. And let us assume that you want to study medicine. You are now doing physics, biology, English, and let us say a Greek. Yes, let's say a Greek. You did not do chemistry. You are now saying maybe because chemistry is difficult, you cannot do it. You will not be considered for an admission. In fact, any university can just give you any course anyhow. Is that taking? You want to do anything related to medicine? The courses to register, or the subjects to register, are English, physics, chemistry, biology. And you must have passed mathematics in your O level. You want to do engineering, English, physics, chemistry, mathematics, and you must have had further maths. Some universities do not require further maths. They can just pick any other science subject. Some universities will even give you admission to study engineering, even if you did biology without further maths. Let us say you want to study anything that is related to transportation, or you want to study anything related to aeronautic engineering. In most cases, your further maths and geography must be complete. Like, you must have it in your O level. Please have this at the back of your mind. Wrong O level combination can actually lead to you being disqualified for an admission. It is even the first thing. You combine wrong O level, forget about it. And another thing is this: please don't apply to any university when it is 9 minutes. Oh, they are closing tomorrow. Be abreast, keep yourself abreast of every development in the university. When their forms will be out, keep yourself abreast of all these developments. So when their form is out, apply early. so that when they are releasing admission, maybe batch by batch, you understand that, okay, this is when your own admission, this is when to expect admission. And if you do not gain admission during that time, you can quickly troubleshoot, understand which what is actually the cause of you not gaining admission at the right time. So you can then, think of either changing the institution or changing the course. Please understand this. And finally, is that if you have been watching this from the very moment that I started with you and you have not, hit the like button, this will not encourage me to do more videos like this. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with your friends, because this will send a message to YouTube algorithm that's right on this channel. We provide value, like we are really helping people to grow and to navigate their admission into university effortlessly. If you have any question concerning advanced level programs that I've mentioned, like JUPEB, IJMB, let us say you did not do well or you've not been considered for an admission, please ask or just make sure you get in touch with me via our website, and I'll leave the link in the description. My name is Shijua Deolushola Samson from Akadais Tutors once again. Thank you for watching this with me till this very moment. I will see you in the next one. God bless you.